Hi everyone, my name is Moumita Rahman and I am the immigration attorney here to help you navigate this very complex world of immigration. Before I go any further, I want you to know that I am based in New York City, but I serve clients all across the US. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and that you hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time I release a video. The field of immigration is rapidly changing almost every week, so you don't want to miss any updates and you don't want to miss the valuable information that I give. Moreover, you can also find me on Facebook and on Instagram. So make sure you follow me and hit that bell so that you're notified of my weekly YouTube videos. So this week, I'm going to discuss with you something very important if you are considering filing for your citizenship, and that is the requirement that you must prove to show that you maintained a continuous residence here in the US. Why is this important? Well, when you receive a green card, you are technically considered a permanent resident of the US. So if you have many absences from the US that constitute long periods of time, then this can harm your ability to naturalize. What are the two rules that you must keep in mind when you're applying for citizenship when evaluating whether you meet the requirement for physical presence and for continuous residency here in the US? Physical presence is something that is different. Physical presence means that you must show to the government that you were here in the US at least 50% of the time during your required statutory period. Now, I don't want you to get that confused with continuous residence. Continuous residence means that you must prove and that you have the burden of proof to show that you maintained a continuous residence here in the US for your required statutory period of time. Continuous residence means that the US was, in fact, your actual place of residence and where you maintained your dwelling. This is important, especially for persons who still have very strong ties to their home country, who end up traveling maybe half the year or more living in that country. If you are doing this, then I want you to keep these two rules in mind. Number one, any absences of more than 180 days out of the US breaks your continuous residency in the US. However, if the absence is between 180 days and less than 1 year, then this is a rebuttable presumption. You can provide proof and documentation to show that you did not actually lose your residency here in the US and that you had no intent to make a different country your actual place of residence. The best ways to prove this are through tax returns showing that you filed as a resident of the US, proof of a lease, proof of a mortgage that you're paying, anything that you can think of to show that you're actually still maintaining a residence here in the US, even if you spend more than 6 months out of the US. However, this is up to the discretion of the immigration officer adjudicating your case. So make sure your proof is strong and make sure everything checks out. The next rule that you must keep in mind when evaluating whether you meet the continuous residency rule is the 1-year rule. This is very important. I want you to know that if you spend more than 1 year out of the US, then this definitely breaks your continuous residency. Remember what I talked about before about the 180-day rule? Well, this is actually a rebuttable presumption. So you still have the opportunity to prove through documentation and evidence that you did not give up your residence in the US. However, if you did in fact spend more than 1 year out of the US, then it doesn't matter what your proof is. Your residency is broken. If your residency is found to be broken either under the 180-day rule or the 1-year rule, then unfortunately you do have to start back your clock in counting your continuous residency and your physical presence. So you may have to start over again for either 3 years or 5 years from that time that you start to reestablish your presence in the US. There is one exception to maintaining your continuous residency if you are in fact planning on being outside the US for more than 1 year, and that is by filing and having approved the Form N-470. Now, I encourage you to look this form up if you are curious about it, but please be warned that not everybody qualifies for this. The classes of persons protected underneath this form is actually very narrow. So if you know that you need to leave the US for more than 1 year and you really want to make sure that you naturalize at your earliest convenience, look into this form. And if you don't qualify for this form, then do everything you can to still maintain your residence in the US and keep your absences less than 180 days. I hope this helped. Good luck to you. I hope you meet and become a US citizen and that you get your American dream. Take care. This video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. For proper legal advice on your case, please call us to set up a consultation.